Hey Puneet, welcome to WebEngage. My name is Chirag. I lead the content marketing and special projects teams here at WebEngage. For all the viewers who are viewing this for the first time, if you could just quickly introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your background and the kind of work that you do currently, that would give us a head start for the rest of the conversation.
Hey Chirag, so very glad that you invited me to this interview. I am currently working with Shiprocket as an associate director in marketing. I come with an 8 years of experience in marketing. Did my engineering in computer science and engineering from Dronacharya College, Gurgaon, and then ended up in marketing 8 years back. Currently, I'm leading growth marketing at Shiprocket for a various of products that are being built and newer launches. I take care of all the CRM journeys for my products as well as other marketing channels, growing them, acquisition, retention, etc. Yeah.
Super. So, an engineer turned marketer, the standard story or standard life for 80% of engineers in India, I would say. And from there, got into marketing and now into growth marketing. I'm
Yeah.
assuming customer retention, customer engagement wasn't a conscious career choice for you. How did
Mhm.
you sort of paradrop into this situation?
So I think it was an interesting one, right? I in the initial days of my career, right? So I was working with an ad agency, right? I was already ahead of the curve. Had learned a couple of marketing tactics and strategies, right? When I dropped into a SaaS-based portfolio website builder in Oakland, Noida, right? So I was tasked to increase the user retention as well as the acquisition also. Uh, my role was to increase the number of subscriptions, right? While I was able to increase the top of the funnel, I saw that my bottom of the funnel wasn't increasing proportionately, right? I went down and I found out through a couple of customer queries as well as customer reviews, and found out that there are a lot of purchase barriers amongst these buyers, right? I had to address it, and that's when I came across that I should be running customer engagement and life cycle journeys to give them and nurture them, and bringing them, because they are not technically sound, some of them, right? So there are different clusters of buyer personas we discovered, so we had to nurture them in a way that they could convert eventually. So I think that was something when that brought me into engagement and CRM life cycles, right? So that is.
Wow. And I'm sure with that curve of your career, there must have been a lot of learnings for you, right? If you could go back in time and teach your younger self one thing that you learned very late in your career, what would that be?
Okay, so I would say I was a curious learner, right? And till today, I'm a curious learner. There hadn't been a chance that I would say that I have been quite late in learning something. But if I were to advise my 5 year or 6 year younger self, I would say that start to learn about the buyer journeys. How do they make their purchases, right? Work cross functionally with different departments, sales, product, even the customer success, right? And understand the insights from them and also from your CRM tools that you use, and stitch them together, right? So that you can build up marketing strategies from ground up. If you don't have insights into your customers and how do they purchase, you're you're just shooting in the dark, right? So you have to be aware and conscious about their purchase decisions, the barriers that they face, what are the motivators that they have, especially in B2B, right? So that is something I would advise myself.
Super. So uh, now coming from the past to the future, right? I'm sure there are a lot of challenges that you face today in terms of people that you work with, the processes that you adhere by, or even something that is very personal to you, right? If you could change one thing that would sort probably the next 10 years of your career, what?
Okay. So, one of the things that I could think about is that I should communicate as much as with my team members. As a team leader, you are involved in multiple projects and multiple products that need that your senior leaders need you to work upon, right? you're in a fast-paced culture, right? You have to be involving your team members and communicating with them proactively so that you can bring them on the same page. And this should lead to maximum efficiency and productivity, right? A lot of things are just in your head and you don't even realize it that your team members don't have that same information as you do. So I
Mm.
think it is important that you communicate, and I think delegating a lot of work that you have so that you can focus on most of the important stuff is also important. So I think these things are the things that I would prefer changing, and I'm already doing that as well. So yeah.
Got it. So oftentimes, there's a fine line between, a lot of communication and
Hmm.
100% transparency. So
Hmm.
which side of the balance do you incline towards?
So I think there should be a fair balance between communication and transparency. Both of the things are equally important. While there are things that you can't be fully transparent about with your team, maybe these are sensitive tasks or sensitive projects that might involve a little bit more things that business leaders don't want to share. But yeah, it should be to know, right? Some of the team members should be knowing only the stuff that would enable them to do the task 100%, right? So communication and transparency, I would balance both of them 50-50.
That's an interesting take, actually, because there's a lot of market stigma around, hey, there needs to be 100% transparency in the team for the team to function really well. But I
Hmm.
totally agree to your point of view as well, where, you need to keep certain bits of information
Yeah.
behind closed doors. So, with that said, I come to the next leg of this conversation,
Hmm.
where I call it the never have I ever. I will ask you a bunch of questions. You can choose to answer them or not answer them.
Okay.
Uh, if you do answer them, do help me with some justification,
Okay.
right? As to why you did it or why you did not do it,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
So, question number one: never have I ever created a failed campaign and then blamed it on others.
Um, yes, in the initial phases of my career, I do have. Um, but I think there is a strong learning with that. It is important to fail at times. You have to understand there are a couple of things. I will narrate a good story, right, where we had that dynamic variable and we sent it across with hey first name. You might have come across a lot of these things, right,
Right.
where your customers receive hey first name, right? You didn't personalize it, or maybe there was a discrepancy in the variable that you used. So there had been couple of chances, but yeah, we quickly realized that again it is important to fail and the learning that you get out of it is something which is crucial. So yes, I have had done it in the very initial days of my career.
Super. So it sort of overlaps with the second question as well, where never have I ever sent a campaign with failed personalization tags. I know
Okay.
the answer is obviously yes, because you just gave me a
Yeah.
answer to that. But I want to understand, did it ever backfire for you?
No, I don't think. See, our customers are so you have to be very empathetic to your customers, right? Customers do understand that a lot of these email campaigns that you're doing are are obviously sent through a marketing automation tool. You can't personalize it to that level that they don't come to know. They're smart, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's all on that front.
Okay, super. So coming to the next one, never have I ever tweaked my reports to save my ass.
No, I haven't done that ever. I have been true to what it is. It is what is it is, right? So, even if it is bad, it again comes as a learning. If it is good, yeah, obviously you get the brownie points.
So would you say that stemmed because, of your ethics or the support of your managers or
Uh-huh.
everything combined?
See, I think it is very much important that you are true to your work, right? There are things that you do certain mistakes as well. And if your manager and if your leaders above you are cognizant of that fact that it's a learning journey and they fully support you in that, even if you have made a mistake, but if you are gathering something out of it, you are in the right mindset.
Mhm.
That is important to me.
Got it. Got it. Super. So, with that said, Puneet, we come to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for taking out your time and agreeing to do this. I will definitely meet you in person, and I have a lot of follow-up questions that I want to ask you. We'll probably catch up over a couple of years and understand more about your science behind, when do you draw the line between
Yeah.
spamminess, creepiness, and so on and so forth. So,
Yes.
thank you so much, Puneet. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Have a nice day.